This is PVA Blood, and how about you and me? We go to a cyberpunk dive bar, and then we go into outer space. Sound good? Great. Let's go get yourself some LEDs, some cork tiles, and some actual tiles. A nice big sheet of acrylic. Oh yeah, baby. That's right. It's opaque. Nothing but the best. And a nice, decently sized piece of corporate art. The more soulless, the better. Just make sure it's got a nice big recess at the back there, because that's where we're going to be putting the LED. I'm not really interested in the tiles themselves, but the space between them, because you may have already gathered, I'm using them as a stencil. Here we go. Perfectly even hexagon pattern, which I now will have to cut out. I've tried a bunch of methods. I tried scissors. I tried technology. No. No. Back to a variant on the scissors. But as always, the blade. The blade is the way. Just Stanley knife. So much easier. You can see how good it was. It got me through my inability to do maths. I made too many. Yeah, I made more than enough for the actual board that I wanted to make. This is a kill team size piece of artwork, which therefore this will be a kill team board. I lined up all these tiles here just to make sure that A, I had enough for the actual project, and then to figure out how many I had left and what to do with them. I also decided to arrange them at a slight angle. This way it will help obscure any imperfections in the tiles themselves, as well as if I don't really glue them in place perfectly lined up, it won't drive me insane. Coming in with some black primer, and then following that with some grey. The grey you make it, the more like stone it will be. So if you want to leave it a bit more like tarmac, leave it fairly black. I missed some spots on the side, so that's why I'm having a poisonous spray paint cork hamburger in my hand there. Measuring out the acrylic where I gotta cut it. And okay, you might not be really grasping just how many tiles I made, because I was in a fugue state. I just had the Stanley knife and there was a pile of cork and I just went mad, and it kind of drove me over the edge, which is why I had to treat myself to a quick kit bashing session and made those bullgrin you can see in the bottom right hand corner there. There are some Age of Sigmar models that I kit with some bits I had lying around. It was just something to make me sane. You can see in the other corners I'm gluing in the LED lights and testing them and drilling holes for the sensors to stick out, as well as the charge cables. You can see they're just powered by a USB connection. Really simple, but a pretty great product. I'll experiment with them more in the future, I reckon. Place out the tiles again just to see that they had dried and I hadn't missed any obvious errors. But then I realized that they were still a bit too dark for my wanting. They were looking a bit more towards the tarmac side of things, but I wanted these boards to work equally well in sci-fi or fantasy. So I lightened them up again with some more grey before hitting them with a homemade brown wash. Brown wash, if you've watched my videos before, you know, it's a simple process: black ink, brown ink, acrylic medium, water. Make yourself a big jar of it. It's a lot cheaper than having to try and do this with GW washes. God, could you imagine? Anyway, when they're dry brush them. Just get out one of your makeup brushes or somebody else's makeup brush. Make sure that you get permission and dry brush it. It's simple but effective method. And then do that a lot. Yeah, like I did a lot. I did too much. No, too many. No, I needed them all. If you find some damaged tiles, you can hide the damage by just putting some black Sharpie over the chip and dry brushing. Alright, we have a sensor. That is the sensor for the remote control. I do not want paint on it, so I'm putting sticky tack on it. It's safe. Prime the whole thing. I'm priming it with grey. Doesn't have to be grey. You can use black. In fact, I would recommend you use black. I only used grey because I was cheap and I wanted to use these mostly empty grey primer cans I had lying around. Okay. Confession over. I'm painting planets. You get a light color, you get a dark color, you paint, you bring them together in the middle, it creates a sense of volume, as you can see here. Hit the outer edges with a bit of black, just to create the illusion of a bit of shadow. If you're creating a living world, personally I would recommend putting a bit of variation in the color. In fact, dead worlds have color. Just spice it up. You know, more colors the better. It doesn't have to be a dead galaxy. I mean, it can be dead and still be colorful. I'm gonna shut up and just, yeah. I'm adding texture, getting some baking paper, folding it, running my hands over it, lifting it off, boom. Planet looks like it maybe is an industrial wasteland. Maybe that's Armageddon. Maybe it got hit by a meteoroid. Asteroid. Yeah, let's meet in the middle. It's a meteoroid, whatever. Cloud cover, just a piece of baking paper, bit of white spray paint, baking paper, quickly lift it up. Bang, 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 quick. Now I'm going to be creating the actual nice clean edges on the planets by protecting them, by putting jam lids and buckets and round stuff on it, and then coming in and painting it all with the black. Now, that bottom left hand corner, you notice how I'm painting the round boards? Yeah, those paintings don't exist anymore because I let them dry outside on a windy day and they got covered in dust. So I had to sand them back and paint them again. So here you are, a little glimpse at something that was and now isn't. I'm creating the star effect by spray painting some white into the gloved hand here and flicking. I put down the star field first, then I come in with a nebula. This creates a sense of depth because obviously now the nebula is between you and the depth of space. And then I'm coming in with some more colors here just to add some different variation. Perhaps this is part of the nebula, perhaps this is some other astral phenomenon. Maybe you just like purple and you want to make a candy galaxy. You know, live your truth. I'm also going to be flicking some more stars on after I've added the nebula, after I've added the clouds, to give the sense that obviously there are stars between the nebula and yourself as well. So even more depth. To create this slightly harder edge on the clouds, I'm using just this piece of paper that I've cut a random pattern into. It's going to give a bit more definition to the cloud effect here. Yeah, vibrant. More stars, and when then this is all down, I'm going to be coming in with a protective layer of gloss varnish. Easy. Whole process like 7 minutes. Is this ASMR? Oh, yeah, I guess it is. Ooh, spooky spider. No, it's just a bit of paint, friend. It was just too fun to not share. There's another glimpse of that paint job which just worked out to look crap. I'm going to be gluing on the tiles with super glue onto the acrylic, and then I'm going to be drilling some guide holes, and the drill bit is going to be slightly narrower than the screw. Try to make sure that the screw length is actually going to be shallower than the combined depth of the whatever board you're using and the acrylic itself, because you don't really want it poking through on the other end and potentially damaging the paintwork. At any rate, I decided to hide the screws here, and I did that by getting a Sharpie and sort of colouring in the end of the screw and placing the tile down. This showed me where I'd want to cut a little recess so the tile could be placed back and have a nice flat flush finish. Hindsight, and well, actually not hindsight, after doing this I realized it was kind of a waste of time. At any rate, I trimmed off the tiles and then painted them, as in like the actual edge of the board I painted, not the bits I cut off and threw away. You get the idea. That's it. We're done. This is the remaining part of the video where I just get to flex that I made something kind of neat. And of course cameos for other projects that I've made videos on, like this Cobalt Foundry terrain. Oh yeah, I got a video. Oh, look at this. It's the Cursed Cherub. Yeah, he's around. Maybe you're gonna see... Oh, what's this? The Kit Bashed Bullgrin from my Kit Bash Bullgrin video, and also that Inquisitor guy. Yep, I'm that self-absorbed. You can perhaps see what I'm doing here. I'm demonstrating that these boards would work for Dungeons and Dragons, they'd work for Kill Team, they'd work for X-Wing, they'd work for, you know, sci-fi and fantasy settings. They would also just look kind of neat sitting in like a gaming room. Got you covered. Now maybe you want to have this for boss encounters, maybe you want this to be some sort of downtime. Perhaps a player character is meeting their patron on some interdimensional plane. Maybe it's Call of Cthulhu and it's against the big bad. or you just want to show off your models, or you just like space stuff. Yeah. I'm showing off the repaint there, and also demonstrating the real purpose that I made this board, which is for Kill Team, and to make me, force me to learn the new rules. I guess I didn't like how squares and circles and triangles became units of measurement instead of just like a ruler, but I'm forcing myself to get there. Thanks for watching. Please stick around. I've got a giveaway. That's right. A giveaway. Already. I just did one. I've got another one coming. You know how I made too many boards? Yeah, that's worked out in your favor because I'm giving away one of these boards, okay? To one of you. Doesn't matter where you are on the planet. I'm in Australia. I'm going to pay for the international shipping. I know that it's expensive. Doing that out of my own pocket because I'm doing this for fun, and I want to reward the viewers who have stuck around. So this is it, the one with the broken tile. I said to remember it. It didn't matter if you didn't because it was only like a minute ago. You can win this tile. All you have to do is to be subscribed and to comment with your favorite baddie, your villain, your monster of choice from the 40k setting. Maybe I'm harvesting that information for ideas. Maybe I'm just trying to play the algorithm. I'm definitely not doing that very well, but anyway. This board could be yours, and the winner will be announced when I hit 2k subs. More details in the comments below, but in all seriousness, thanks for sticking around, thanks for watching. You know, this is not my day job. I have a full-time job and general commitments of life. But seeing the numbers go up, seeing you guys comment, and particularly even like following a tutorial, when I see that happen in the wild, I feel really special. So thanks for checking it out. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Hopefully.